Good afternoon. My name is Bill Rasmussen. I'm running for the 2nd Legislative District for the state of Washington. That's from Lacey all the way to Mount Rainier. 2 weeks ago, Donald Trump was inaugurated. 2 weeks ago, I decided to join the race to run as an independent in the state of Washington. 2 weeks ago, our country was thrown into literally chaos. The last 2 weeks have been, let's just say, it's been very motivating for me as a soldier. I'm a Navy vet, 16 years. I spent 10 years active duty and 6 years reserve. I was on everything from a Naval Hospital Oakland, and Camp Pendleton, and Cherry Point. I've been on ships several times. I've been on ships with the Marines. I was always part of the tip of the spear, being part of the MEU. I'm also Army retired. I'm a respiratory therapist. I was a combat medic for the Army. I was a gunner in Iraq. And I was a head medical representative, chief medic, for an engineering company doing route clearance in Afghanistan. I've seen combat. I've seen people blown up. I've seen people shot. I've seen babies so small that they wouldn't live unless I did something. I've worked neonatal. I've worked burn. I've worked trauma. I've worked cardiac. I know what it means to have a quality of life that is next to nothing. I know what it's like for people to wish they would just die. I've seen that. And I've seen people just fight to live. And I give them every opportunity to do that. We have problems in this country right now. Some of us have decided to do everything we can to protect our country. They're called soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines. We've all dedicated our lives so that everyone in this country can have what's called civil rights, the right to choose. And as the Constitution and the Declaration say, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We protected those. We protected those for you. And now look where we are. Look where we're at in this period of chaos that we created. We created this problem. We have become so polarized in how we treat each other, we forgot that we are citizens of the same country. Those of you that are veterans, you're my brothers and sisters. We may not agree on everything, but you are still my brothers and my sisters because we have a common bond. For everybody else out there, you are my fellow citizens. I will fight and die for you. We, as a group, soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, will fight and die to protect your rights. And that's rights for everybody. That's rights for everybody. That's the whole DEI thing. Women shouldn't have the right to vote. Well, guess what? Yes, they should. Women shouldn't be in combat. Well, yes, if they're qualified and they want to do it, by all means. That's the advantage of being an all-volunteer army. All-volunteer military. Nobody got drafted to be there. We volunteered. If you have a problem with gays in the military, I'm sorry. I don't. And I served with them. I was out there with them. You know the difference between you and them? They signed the contract. They said that it is more important to serve their country than to be identified as being gay, straight, trans, or otherwise. They are American soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. I have no problem with serving with any one of them. And some of them have gone over and above to serve this country. Do not feel that they are incapable of doing anything. Do not feel that they are incapable of providing service to this country. They have, and they will continue to do so. And if you've got a problem with that, let me see your DD 214, because they certainly have one. If you have a problem with somebody's sexual orientation, keep in mind what Tim Walsh said, mind your own damn business. If you're Republican, you should know better. Ronald Reagan was all about the problem with government is the government is government. You should be out of everything. Let the people do what they need to do. Get the government out of it. The problem with government is that it's a government, and it shouldn't be telling you how to do your thing. It shouldn't be telling you how to live your life. Why is it that now it's all important that government's involved in our lives? It shouldn't be. And if you're Republican, you should be embarrassed. If you're Republican, you should be embarrassed, and you should be kicking somebody in the head and saying, this is not right. This is wrong. We need to change it. You don't need a Democrat to tell you that. You don't need a Democrat to say that it's wrong. You should be doing that. Ronald Reagan may be turning over in his grave right now if he saw what was going on. This is your opportunity to stand up. This is your opportunity to do what's right. There's a saying, if not me, who? Well, this is me. I'm standing up. I made the decision I'm going to run. I made the decision I was going to run for the legislature to serve my community, my state, and my country. I've done it for close to 40 years. 27 of those years have been in the military. I've been in the medical field. I've worked in land management. I've worked in education. I've been so many different places and done so many things. I have so much experience, and I can bring it to the table. And I also understand one thing. The government is not necessarily the solution to every problem, but it needs to provide the tools and the resources so you can solve your problem. You wanted to be able to solve, you wanted the government out of your business? Fine. Get it out. But with that comes some responsibility too. You got to start treating each other with dignity and respect. You got to start talking to people, even people that you may or may not even like. We have got to get away from the polarization and start talking to each other. I have no problem as an independent to talk to a Republican, and I have no problem about talking to a Democrat, and I have no problem about telling each and one of them that their views are totally screwed. No problem at all. If they are that they are so set in their whatever way that there is no wiggle room for dialogue, if there is any chance that they are being rude, crude, and socially unacceptable to others, then I got a problem. We need to address that. My name is Bill Rasmussen. I go by the name Doc. I earned that. That's how you'll see it. I'm running for the 2nd Legislative District as an independent. I look forward to meeting with you. Thank you.